I want you to change the world, and don't think that this is going to happen peacefully or you can do it alone. We need to kill the rich. You get out there, you use your weapons, and you rip Washington apart. You hunt down the billionaires, the bank bosses, the CEOs, the scumbags, and the liars, the governors, the lobbyists, the senators, because they're all the same, and you hang them.
Good morning, everyone. It'd be afternoon by the time you get this, so good morning and good afternoon. It is April 18th, 2020. So, one of the things that grinds my gears about people on YouTube is once they get an idea in their head, once they believe that they have a grasp of what's going on around us, they're unwilling to entertain other ideas. And I guess I am also guilty of this on some level, but I'm much better about that than most other individuals. So, we've been watching government actions taking place. And on mainstream media, they're telling us that there's a virus going around. And by the way, this is the same mainstream media that at first downplayed the severity of the virus and then did a complete change of opinion. And look, there's nothing wrong with changing your opinion when you get presented with new data. But what mainstream media is telling us, what individuals like Governor Cuomo of New York is telling us, their actions do not match what they're saying. For example, Governor Cuomo, and just a week or two ago, he was on his press briefing whining about not having enough ventilators. Whining about not having enough staff for these hospitals. Remember that? Well, now he has extended their lockdown there in New York. And but he's sending ventilators to other states, among other things. Michigan and I want to say Virginia, but I don't remember. I know it was Michigan. But their actions do not match what they're telling us. So, there's a couple of other ideas floating around as to what's going on. And I'm going to present to you a couple of these ideas. Now, understand that I don't necessarily believe these ideas, but I am willing to entertain them. Simply because if one of these ideas ends up being correct, well, I would have been an asshole for not at least showing you. Okay? And don't get me wrong, I'm a total fucking asshole, but not that big of an asshole. Not so big that I would, such a big asshole that I would hold information that might be detrimental to you. So this first clip, I don't know what the channel name is. Proton Gary, please do in the comment section down there put the name of the channel for me, please. Thank you. Okay, let's get started.
Here's a diagram of our solar system as we orbit the Sun. Notice Earth's starting position. The large blue object represents the current location of an extremely powerful magnetic celestial anomaly that accompanies this planetary system we've been seeing bits and pieces of on these FAA weather cameras. Of course, the magnetic anomaly is not as big as it looks in the diagram. I just made it large so that you could see it. It's actually much smaller. But it's so powerful that it bends light, time, and space. Several scientists around the world have been tracking it for years. Terrell Blackstar has been saying for years that the very year that Earth makes its closest pass to this magnetic anomaly is the same year that a contagion would be released and the economy would be crashed, in order to provide a cover story for the world's elites who would be fleeing its destruction. Now it's here, and we are watching the ultra-rich make their exits. As you can see in the diagram, Earth will be passing by the magnetic celestial object in mid-May. According to Mike from around the world, solar radiation will skyrocket. As of today, the solar radiation has nearly doubled since 2015, and it increases daily now as we approach the magnetic anomaly. The Earth will be hit with powerful bursts of microwave radiation, according to Mike, that will cause temperatures of 300 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit to those places that are directly aimed at the sun during these energy blasts. 6 days ago, Earth experienced a major tectonic plate shift that miraculously didn't cause any tidal waves. Earthquakes and volcanic activity like this will increase as we approach the magnetic object. The heating up of Earth's core will continue to increase also. According to Mike from around the world, its powerful magnetic pull has caused other planets in our solar system to stop rotating temporarily, and Earth will fall prey to that same effect as we pass by it in May. There's currently a bulge of water at the equator because of the spinning of our planet. This bulge of water is always there. When the spinning stops, that water will slosh. It won't have anywhere to go. And it will fulfill the prophecy that Jesus states in Luke 21:25, when he describes the roaring of the waves in the very last days. Mike from around the world said that daytime and nighttime would be mixed up, and that a day won't be 24 hours. Before the Earth stops spinning, it will go into a state of severe Earth wobble, which many scientists have stated. We may or may not be able to notice this Earth wobble with our simulated sky. The severe wobble is described by the prophet Isaiah in chapter 24, verses 19 and 20, when he says that Earth will stagger to and fro like a drunkard and sway like a hut, which is a hammock, in a windstorm. He also describes the massive earthquakes and resulting pole shift in that same passage. As if that's not enough, Earth will pass through an asteroid debris field, shown on the diagram that's now playing. This was mentioned on Israeli News Live on March 16th. Steve's intel gave him this information. Earth will be passing through this debris field sometime between June and August. At first, people will start to see shooting stars, and they will increase in numbers daily. A few will begin to hit the Earth here and there. Eventually, most countries on Earth will have much damage from these meteorites falling.
Cheyenne Mountain, Colorado is a World War II era nuclear bomb.
Alright, so you just heard what the lady said. Again, I don't know if it's true. I couldn't even begin to tell you if it's true. I did and do a couple of searches on the magnetic anomaly and came up blank. I didn't find anything that talked about any anomaly like that in our solar system. That doesn't mean it's not there. I could have put in the wrong search terms. I could have done... It could be anything. I'm just saying I didn't find it. Okay? So, this next one talks about our military being, or our continuity government, the staff for that and being put in Cheyenne Mountain, and the doors being, being sealed off. Okay? Now, this really makes me wonder. Both of them do, actually. And I'm going to try to tie the two together. Maybe it makes sense. So, military wouldn't necessarily seal themselves in a bunker like Cheyenne Mountain over a virus, right? It doesn't make sense. Again, government actions do not match what we're being told. They just don't match. Am I saying the virus is fake? Absolutely not. I'm not going to say that the virus is fake because I don't know. I'm not there. And this is really important for you to understand. Unless you're there, unless you have first-hand knowledge, you've seen with your own eyes, you don't know. And neither does Richie from Boston, neither does Brian from High Impact Flicks, or any of the rest of us. We don't know. We're not there. Now, I personally think it's better to go on the side of caution and assume that there's actually a virus going around, and you should take any precaution that you can to not contract it. We're not there, so we don't know who is telling the truth out of all these people. Okay? And this makes me probably the most honest YouTuber there. Because nobody else is going to tell you. I don't know. I'm not there. Well, Dave Hodges, for example, he swears, and I'm not discounting this, okay? I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm saying that once these people get some idea in their head, they're unwilling to entertain anything else. But he's been talking about the Chinese troops being on the other side of the border there in Mexico, and that's why Trump sent the military down there along the Mexican border. Do I know if it's true? No, I don't. I don't know if it's true, but it's logical. But it's just as logical that the military locked themselves in Cheyenne Mountain because what this lady just said is right. That's something you would do in an extinction level event or a very serious war. So I'm saying to you, an extinction level event has either already happened or is going to happen in short order. That's what I'm saying to you. Let's check out this next clip and I'll continue afterwards.
Blast-proof underground bunker that is a command center which was designed to serve as a base for maintaining continuity of government during attack on our soil. The question is, if we get into a nuclear pissing contest, who is going to be left to govern? Fox News just aired a story that was sent to me by martial law.
I'm going to tell you the answer to that question real quick. Who's going to be left to govern is you. You govern yourself. You do not need some dickhead on TV telling you how to act, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, where to do it. You don't need this. You don't need these people telling you what to do. They're a bunch of fucking sycophantic morons who have their own agenda in mind.
About military unalert inside the complex because of this Kung Flu bullshit. I would have downloaded the original Fox post or at least screen recorded it. Meanwhile, tanks and troops are headed to California and border with Mexico, and the president is warning us about 2 weeks of hard times. For what? The common cold? I ain't.
Here's a diagram of our solar system as we orbit the sun.
Okay, it rolled over. Again, this guy, he's unwilling to entertain other ideas. And he swears that, he's like Dave Hodges, he swears that we're about to be invaded by China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran. I'm not there, so I can't answer you. I don't know if it's true. But a lot of YouTubers out there and doomsday preppers, they will tell you to prep for economic collapse. They will tell you to prep for martial law. They'll tell you to prep for a whole bunch of different shit, but each of these people are telling you to prep for a specific event. No. You prepare for all events across the board. You have a gas mask. You have fucking a rifle and ammo. You have lots of food, ways to filter your water, an understanding as to how to make a filter or distill your water. If you don't have these things and any number of these events come up, well, you're kind of left on the fucked end of things. I don't like being left on the fucked end of things. Do you? There's some other stuff to go over, but again, the government actions do not match what they say is going on. In my opinion, it looks to me like we're about to go to war with China. In my opinion. We're not going to know whether this lady here is correct or not. Let's see here. Let's go down here. Until
Earth's starting to...
Until what? Mid-April? Yeah, first week of April, if this magnetic anomaly is as strong as she's claiming it is, we'll start getting effects from it somewhere around there. Somewhere around there, about the same distance from the sun. If you're here, you're about the same distance. So we're not going to know if this lady is correct, but until she's proved incorrect, it may be something you want to consider. All right. Again, I did a Google search. I didn't find anything, but this could very well be the event I presented to you a few months back concerning Gil Gerard and his work in tracking Planet X and the Nemesis mini star system, which Nemesis is our star's or sun's twin. So, again, I don't know. I'm not there. I don't have the high power telescopes or the connections to the Vatican or any of these things. And just like you, I have to go on what's out there in the in our ecosystem out there, in our information system. Okay? So there's that. And thank you, Proton Gary, for sending these clips in, by the way. I really appreciate that. So now we get into atrocities. Committed by our America's finest, let's call them. This one, watch while killing a suspect, cops fire 196 rounds into store with people inside. So, we've had this very kind of thing happen here in Spartanburg County, where a guy blocked himself up in a little gas station, little party store, and they did something very similar, which didn't work, by the way, and they ended up having to put a bulldozer through the wall of this place. And of course, the owner of the building was never compensated for the destruction they caused. But an Iraqi immigrant who narrowly escaped his war-torn country was nearly killed last year when Utah police from 3 different agencies opened fire on a motorist who had led police on a high-speed chase. In April of 2019, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. A trailer was in his shop when a white truck crashed through his shop front window. Police then opened fire on the suspect, killing him and nearly killing the owner of the store. He miraculously escaped unharmed. So, it ended up traumatizing some fabric worker, and the officers, 10 in all, unloaded their clips mags, destroying his shop, the machinery, client's property, and leaving him an emotional basket case. And yeah. So this is an atrocity straight up. But there's a lot more. If my computer cooperates, that is. There we go. This is a really fucked up thing they did to this guy. And I wasn't gonna, I'm not gonna show this guy die, okay? I don't imagine his family would appreciate it, and I'm not gonna do it. If you want to see people die, don't worry, you're gonna get your chance. But this happened in Maquoketa, Iowa. He was killed in police custody back in June of 2019. They didn't have sufficient probable cause to arrest him. Nevertheless, he was detained, thrown to the ground, had his face smashed into the dirt, and repeatedly tasered until he went into cardiac arrest. And the sheriff's department there in Maquoketa, Iowa, knew that this individual had conditions that they knew would ultimately kill him if they used the taser on him, and that's exactly what they did. And keep in mind, this guy, he was not violently resisting. He was being arrested for nothing, okay? Arrested for nothing, and then murdered by the cops. And it's nothing less than murder. They knew he had this heart condition, and knew that he'd been hospital twice. Once in 2016, the other in 2018 for that heart condition, and after one of those times, he was tasered. After an internal investigation, the officers were cleared of any wrongdoing. What a surprise. What a surprise. And look, the SJWs out there would like you to believe that it's black folks. They're the only ones, or minorities anyway, the only ones being gunned down by the police and murdered in cold blood. But the fact of the matter is, white people are killed at double the rates, in some years even higher than that, than black folks. Do some of these people deserve to die? Well, I don't know. I'm not there. But if they're a child molester or something like that, yeah, they probably deserve to die. But you see, that never seems to be the case, does it? It's always for some arbitrary bullshit that these people are shot in the back, gunned down. And you remember the guy that was on his knees begging for his life and doing his fucking best to comply, and that puke sheriff deputy out there, Arizona, I believe it was, went ahead and unloaded his AR into him. So, it's always something with these people. They're always doing some evil, backward, underhanded shit. I think that's what the only ones, because I covered the rest of them. Okay. So, here's something kind of showing you just how much you can trust mainstream media. These people are filled with CIA assets who, and others, who routinely lie to you. So don't trust anything they tell you. Nothing. If they tell you that it's raining outside and you haven't seen it for yourself, don't believe them. Go look and make sure it's raining. Alright, so this is out of Los Angeles. Mother finds fake Facebook ad claiming her family died from coronavirus. Damn, Mom, you're looking pretty good. A Facebook ad for a company selling face masks claimed all but one member of the Los Angeles family died from COVID-19, but the story, which used a real family photos, isn't true. And I see, I just fucked up. I said mainstream media, but it ended up being a Facebook ad. So, again, I'm not perfect. And here's an example of how I fuck up sometimes. But Mother Sarah Ankinch, I don't know, Says a professional photo of her family took for their holiday card 8 years ago showed up in a Facebook ad for Filter Max face masks. So they're using these tragedies, or tragedies that didn't happen, as a vector for cells. Come on, computer. Come on. There we go. Australian police use surveillance copter to track down remote campers. When you social distance so well, the cops have to find you by helicopter. And I'd like to know, why are they even bothering to track these people down? What fucking difference does it make where they are sheltering in place? Is this another one of these things that's going to happen here too, where some people get tired of being crammed up in their damn house, decide they're going to go to a remote place and do some camping? Are they going to track these people down too here? Probably. Probably. This is why you should not bring your devices with you. And if you do, you should at least pull the battery out so that they don't have a way to track you down out there. So this happened in Tasmania. Police in Tasmania are using surveillance helicopter to track people down camping in remote locations in violation of coronavirus lockdown. So it just really goes to demonstrate the lengths these people will go to control you. The Michigan governor, all the other governors. Bert. You see this shit? Do you see it? So, back to this last video here. No, it's not going to show it. The one regarding Cheyenne Mountain. So, it doesn't make any sense that continuity government individuals have now barricaded themselves in Cheyenne Mountain, sealed it off. It doesn't make sense that they've done these things over COVID-19. It just doesn't make sense. And you know what else that doesn't make sense is they've activated this National Guard unit, or I believe it was National Guard. I'm going to pause it and go find that right quick here. Alright, so here's the one I was talking about here. Secret National Guard unit ready to enforce martial law in Washington, D.C. And we're going to hit the first couple of paragraphs here. Ever since governors started calling up National Guard units last month, the Pentagon has insisted that the soldiers remain firmly under the command of the governors that called them up, and that the Pentagon isn't using the troops to plan for any federal secret missions or martial law, should the crisis spiral out of control and threaten continuity of government. Now, a report in Newsweek purports to prove that the Pentagon lied. In reality, a 10,000 soldier strong National Guard unit has been deployed to the capital area with a secret assignment to enforce martial law in Washington, D.C. and help evacuate lawmakers and top government officials if things go south. In reality, the Joint Task Force is already 10,000 strong and is already on 24/7 alerts. And yet, the activation of Joint Task Force National Capital Region, including almost 10,000 uniformed personnel to carry out its special orders, contradicts those assurances. Yeah. So again, their actions do not match what they say is going on. Is it the space anomaly? Is it an invasion? Is it just a flat-out power move to subjugate us further? Again, we don't know. However, we do know that Bill Gates is involved. And what's Bill Gates want? He wants the world population to be reduced. We know that Anthony Fauci is connected to Bill Gates in more ways than one. Both of them are connected to the P4 Wuhan lab there in China. We know that mainstream media, when this thing was over there in China unfolding, or suspected the bioweapon was being used here. The only way that any of this makes any sense when it comes to this virus is if it is a bioweapon. Now, that said, I'm very suspicious that other people, government people, have jumped on this bandwagon, which makes me wonder if I'm incorrect about that. I don't know. I'm not there. I don't know. But it's eating at me. And I'm not going to lie to you. I don't like not knowing. So, anyway, I thought I would just share these things with you. I wish I could give you a definitive answer as to what's going on, but there's so many different things. Maybe it's all going on at one time. That would be our luck. And the reason I decided to kind of veer off the path today is because we are paying way too much attention to the words being spoken by Donald Trump, the Trojan horse, and by the Nancy Pelosi's, the other people. There's one lady, and her name is escaping me at the moment, Dianne Feinstein. And it's kind of curious that a lot of these individuals are nice and coddled up to China. It makes me really think that what is really going on is we are preparing for war on our continent, and the two sides are getting lined up and ready for the fight. That's what it makes me think. So we'll see. We'll see what happens here. And if that lady is correct, right here, this lady, we will start seeing signs of it at the beginning of April. At the beginning of April, as you will see here, up here at this. And we'll really start to see the signs in May. So, it's not going to be too long that we see whether this is right or not. And as far as what the other person was talking about, that can pop off at any time. And so be watching. Be watching. Keep your eyes fucking open. Because some next level shit is going on. And we need to know what it is. Till next time, kill the state, live free.